Schengen visa is what I'll be talking about today. I've been getting a lot of questions to make a video or talk about countries in the Schengen region that has high approval rates, visa rates, and high visa denial rate. So in this video, I'm here to talk about this, but then I'll be making it a part one and part two. So the part one is basically going to be about the country in the Schengen zone that has high approval rate so far, because you need to understand that a lot has been changing of recent in the travel industry. Like, it's not even about you having your money anymore. Like, it's a different thing to have your money to relocate. It's another thing not to have money to relocate. But right now, immigration policies are changing seriously, and a lot of visas are being denied, while some visas are also getting approved. I have my notes with me here, so I will actually be looking down. As you can see, I've been able to jot down a few things I'll be discussing with you guys today. So bear with me as I'll be looking down. Traveling to Europe has been a lot of people's dream, especially ever since Canada and UK announced the updates to reduce the rate at which students can actually come in with their dependents, and knowing fully well that a lot of people, let's say the percentage of people who travels abroad actually go via the study route, and of course everyone wants to go with the family, so that pathway has been cut off completely, and it's really affecting a lot of people. So because of this, a lot of people has diverted their attention to the European country. European country has been there, of course, for a very long time, but people weren't focusing on that side because a lot of people do what I call bandwagon, like they join the bandwagon because people are talking about UK, Canada, Australia. I want to also go to UK, Canada, like because my friends are going there, because I have a sister and uncle who has been there, so everybody wants to go there. But seriously, that's not the case. Yes, it's about you personally. What exactly do you want for yourself? What is your plan? What is your aspiration? How do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Is it about what people are saying? Is it about the content, the random content you see on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube? UK this, UK that. Is that what is really drawing your attention to those countries? Is that what has been drawing your attention to those countries, or it's about your own personal decision based on what you want for yourself? So in order not to stress long on this matter, the Schengen visa, of course, which is your key to exploring the remaining 29 Schengen countries, because the thing about Schengen countries is that it gives you more opportunity to build your travel history, it gives you more opportunities to explore, it opens more door for opportunities for you, and so many benefits attached to penetrating the Schengen zone. But then again, the thing you need to understand is it has to be one country that would get you into that space and hand the key over to you to explore the remaining 29 Schengen countries. Of recent, Bulgaria and Romania also joined the Schengen zone, so of course we have them now getting to 30 or more than that. So now you need to understand something, that despite the fact that Schengen zone country gives you the key to explore more with little stress, I repeat, the Schengen visa, which is your key to exploring the remaining 29 Schengen countries in the European Union, has varying rates of approval and rejection. Now, understanding these rates can significantly influence your application strategy, because you need to understand. For example, if a client comes to me that they want to do a Schengen visa, I send them all the documents needed. It's either you're applying to go there as a tourist, or you're applying to visit. Yes, or you're applying as a student, or you got a job directly from your own country and you want to go with a work visa. It's either of those options I just listed now. And mind you, under applying as a tourist or as a visitor, you need to still make sure that you have all your necessary documents. One thing about these countries like the Schengen region, is the fact that their visa requirement is very, like, it's mandatory. You cannot skip it. I would not advise anyone to use any fake document, or don't allow any agent to forge document for you, or use visit invitation letter that he has used for different people to use it for you to apply again. No, I always tell my clients, if you don't know this, I am telling you guys now that will be watching this video, if you want to apply for a visit visa, you need to be specific, because some of these agents won't tell you, and they will not even tell you to go and look for someone that would give you invitation letter. They would go and look for you, and you won't even be aware. Now let me give you an example. I had a client of mine that I did CV for of recent, and this client was sharing his experience with me. He actually applied for a Canada tourist visa before he met me, for himself and his family, his wife and 2 kids, making family of 4. Now this client of mine applied since I think 2021, and he got his response back from the Canadian embassy, I think late last year. And did you know what happened? This guy's visa was denied, but his wife and the 2 children were given a visa to go to Canada as a visitor. Now what caused his denial? One thing about these people is that they would always state the reason why the visa was denied. Now what led to his denial is the fact that 2014, far back as 2014, this client of mine paid an agent to do a USA visit visa for him. Now this agent actually used, I don't know, a random invitation letter for him, or I don't know where he got it from, for this my client, without the client knowing. And now this client got to the USA airport, and it was, of course, the point of entry. You have to go through some protocols. Now they told this guy to talk about who is coming to visit, his relationship with the person, and this and that, and this guy said he was stammering. And now they told him to provide the number of the person he wants to go and visit. He had to step aside to go and call his Nigerian agent using the airport Wi-Fi hotspot, of course, to connect with him on WhatsApp, and was like, okay, I'm stranded here, and I was asked to present the number of the person I want to see in the USA. And this guy, the agent sent him the number, only for them to call the person. The person denied this kind of mind, that he doesn't know him, and truly he was deported back to Nigeria from that point of entry. This guy spent a lot of money to get to that level. He was just looking at USA from the window, through the window, but he couldn't even step out of the airport. And it happened since 2014. So what am I trying to say? When it comes to Schengen, there are some things you also need to put into consideration, so that you don't get rejected or denied or refused, or whatever terms you want to use, because it's very dangerous, especially when you're using a fake document. It could even lead to ban. Yes. So now the Schengen visa, like I said, is a key to unlocking travel across about 29 European countries. Now it presents varied rates of approval and rejection across these nations also. So that is what we are here to talk about today. So now, countries with high approval rates. I'll be telling you the countries with high approval rate right now. So now let's start from number 10. Number 10 is Sweden. Yes, despite its rigorous application process, Sweden tends to have a high visa approval rate if you have your documents intact. Your documents ranging from all the necessary requirements you will ask to submit. Also, your proof of fund. Your proof of fund matters a lot. And home ties, of course, to give them a reason that you're definitely going to return back to your country, even though that is not what you want to do, but you don't present it that way. Even if I have clients, for example, my client that wants to go to study and they had to go through the interview process with the admission committee, we still tell them, in case they throw questions to you like, oh, what if you get a job as a student? Would you work? Would you stay back? Blah, blah, blah. Tell them no, that you just want to come and study, acquire the global education, gain the knowledge you need so that you can return back to your country to develop your country's economy. You don't need to present it to them like you want to use their study route to japa, like this UK guy, this TMU guy that casted Nigerians in the UK. You don't need to sound that way. So number 10 is Sweden. Starting from the bottom, number 10 is Sweden. Now the next one is Czech Republic. Now, Czech Republic, which is known for its rich history and culture, the Czech Republic also has a high rate of Schengen visa approval. If you know what you're doing, don't do mago-mago, be straightforward. Yeah. Now, the number 8 point is Slovenia. Slovenia has high visa approval rate also. Of course, welcoming tourists to its diverse landscape. Now, some of those countries, it depends on the visa you want to get to enter the country. Now, you need to understand that there are two basic type of visa, I mean to say, the long term and the short term. The long term visa is, for example, you want to go study, that's a study visa. You want to go and meet your family, that's reunion visa. You want to work, that's work visa. Those ones falls under the long term visa. While the short term visa is visit or tourist visa, medical visa, you want to go for conference. So you need to be able to understand which category your visa falls under. Yes, that's Slovenia. Now, Slovenia is the eighth one. Then the other one, the seventh one is Slovakia. Now, this Central European country typically has a higher rate of visa approval with straightforward visa application process. Now, the sixth one is Poland. Of course, everyone loves Poland. Poland's visa policies and efficient processing system contribute to its high approval rates. Now, number 5 is Latvia. Generally, Latvia has a high approval rate, reflecting its welcoming stance towards tourists and business visitors. Schengen visa is a very powerful visa. If you can get Schengen visa, wow, you don't know what God has done for you. Now, number 4 on our list is Finland. Known for its fair and transparent visa processing, Finland often has a high rate of approval, especially for students. You need to understand there are some of these visas that are easy to get. If you want to get the Schengen visa to go for tourism or visiting, yes, some of the country might be easier. Why some studies, of course, it's easier to get. So now the next one, which is number 3, is Estonia. Estonia modern approach and efficient processing contributes to its high visa approval rates. Now, the number 2 point here is Lithuania. Lithuania, with a straightforward application process, Lithuania typically has a high rate of visa approval. Now, number 1, before I say number 1, see, some of all these visa, to process them from Nigeria, it's not easy because they don't have a physical embassy in Nigeria. Unlike Malta, that doesn't have a physical embassy, but they do their own visa processing online. But some of these other countries, you have to travel to the neighboring country close to your country that has a physical embassy where you can go. Yes, so you need to take note of that. Like Lithuania now, people who had gone to Lithuania, who are Nigerians, had traveled to Egypt or traveled to Lebanon for their visa processing. Yes, even Latvia too. Some travels to Egypt or Lebanon for their visa processing. So number 1 on my list is Iceland. And do you know one thing about Iceland? You can study for free in Iceland. All you need to do is to write your IELTS exam and make sure you score around 6.5 upward and have your basic document, your educational document, of course, like your WAEC, your NECO, your BSc, your transcript, your testimonial, your CV. Trust me, Iceland is number 1. Iceland shows a high approval rate, known for its landscape, tourist friendly policies. Iceland is actually a good country, trust me. See, one thing I always tell clients that comes to me, I want to go to Spain, I want to go to Iceland, and if I tell them I don't have a package in Iceland, it must be Iceland. If it's not Iceland, I don't want. Are you okay? You don't want what? Even though it's Iceland, I will give you that entry to the Schengen. Leave the rest. When you get there, get stable, finish your studies. During the holidays, you can even travel to other countries within the Schengen zone. And after your studies, you can decide to migrate outside of the country. I had a story of a lady, I think is it on Twitter or she's a technical writer. She went from Nigeria with her boyfriend to Malta with a digital nomad visa. And on getting there, I think she attended, these countries are very close by to each other. Some of them are like 1 hour 30 minutes by train or by bus. Some of them are like 2 hours 30 minutes, some 3 hours, some 4 hours, even some are less than 1 hour to penetrate the neighboring countries, just like Nigeria to Benin Republic, to Ghana, to Togo. So, and these people give you free entry once you have that Schengen visa. This lady went from Nigeria as a digital nomad, and on getting to Malta, I think she was stable, and she went for a conference happening in Netherlands from Malta. And she said she went there for the conference in Netherlands. She connected with people like minds, white people who had big companies, and she was able to network well and got a contact of someone who needed a technical writer for a real physical job in Netherlands. And that was how this lady relocated from Malta fully to Netherlands. She went as a digital nomad and she changed her visa in Netherlands as a full-time worker who is now stable, making her cool money as a technical writer in Netherlands. So what are we talking about? So why always bent on if it's not Canada, if it's not UK, if it's not this, if it's not that? Relocation generally, it is not easy anymore. Japa in Nigerian slang, it is not easy anymore. See, even though you have the money, it's a different thing to have the money. It's another thing for it to be difficult for you to even travel. It's another thing for you not to have the money. There are so many, and right now, a lot of people, knowing fully well that people are agents are scamming people with work visa here and there. Options only available to anyone to travel legally right now is still study routes, using scholarship or looking for affordable schools or free schools, or if you can afford to go sponsor yourself to study, then you can actually do that. Now, this will be the end of this particular part one. I said I'm going to split this video into two. The first part is the Schengen countries with high visa approval rates. So watch out for part two, which is going to be the countries with high rejection rates. So after discussing the part two, then I'm going to discuss the common reasons for visa rejection and other things you guys need to know. So if this is your first time of seeing my face on your screen, please kindly subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I talk about travel research results. Like, I bring you travel research results that can enable you relocate with ease without any complications. So stay tuned for part two.